Hello there, I'm Sonia. I'm a dispatcher for the city of Menifee, and I'm here today to read to you guys 2-minute Garfield stories. Now, this was one of my favorite books growing up, and the first story I have for you today is called No Dogs Allowed. Now, if you're not familiar with Garfield, he's a cartoon of a cat, and he has his best buddy Odie, and they have their owner. I forget his name right now, but he's not in these stories, so don't worry about him. So, No Dogs Allowed. One day, while he was prowling through the vacant lot, Garfield came upon a large, empty cardboard box. "This is just what I've been looking for," he thought. "It will make a perfect clubhouse." Garfield cut the windows and a door into the box. He found an old crate to use as a table and a bucket for a stool. Then he painted a sign over the door. It said, "Garfield's Club, no dogs allowed." Garfield was about to hold his first club meeting when Odie stuck his nose in the door. "Hey, don't you see the sign?" Garfield cried. "No mutts in my clubhouse." Odie's ears drooped sadly as he shuffled away. A short time later, he was voting on whether to eat cookies or pizza at the next meeting. Garfield was interrupted by hammering noises. Odie had found an old packaging crate and was building a clubhouse of his own, right next to Garfield's. "That's a pretty neat clubhouse," Garfield said. "Mind if I look inside?" But Odie growled and pointed to a sign he made. It said, "Odie's Club, no Garfields allowed." "Who cares?" said Garfield, stomping off. "My club is better anyway." Garfield and Odie sat in their clubhouses, each one staring out his own little window. They sat like that for a long time. Finally, Garfield sighed. So did Odie. "This club would be more fun if it had another member," said Garfield, loud enough so Odie could hear. "Arf," agreed Odie. In no time at all, they converted the two small clubhouses into one big clubhouse. Then they took down the old signs and put up a new one. It said, "Garfield and Odie's Club, friends welcome." Now that's the first story. The second story I have for you today runs along the same line of friendship, which I personally love. Now, our second story, it revolves around Odie, and it's called Odie Finds a Friend. Odie was sniffing around the yard one afternoon when suddenly he found himself nose to beak with a little bird. The pup and the bird eyed each other curiously. "Tweet," said the bird. Barked Odie. Odie followed the bird around the yard. When the little bird plucked a worm from the ground, Odie plucked a worm too, though he couldn't bring it himself to eat it. When the little bird splashed in the bird bath, psh, 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 so did Odie, though he nearly splashed the little bird right out of the bath. And when the little bird sang on the fence, Odie sang along too, though his singing wasn't all that musical. Woo, 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 woo. But when the little bird flew high up into the sky, Odie was left behind. His ears drooped. Whimpering softly, he trudged across the yard and sprawled in the shade of the big oak tree. Odie sighed. He'd been having such fun with the little bird, but she was probably gone forever. The next day, Odie heard a familiar chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. It was a little bird. She glided down to a gentle landing on Odie's nose. "Tweet," said the little bird. Barked Odie, and he wagged his tail happily, for now he knew that he found a friend. I love those stories. They remind me that friends can also be family. And to me, living in Riverside County, that's really what I have is my friends, and they're my family. And this always reminds me to keep them close to my heart. Thank you.